Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. President Trump set to speak tonight at the Republican Governors Association annual winter meeting here in Washington. Simultaneously, there's the bipartisan National Governors Association meeting. The president won't be there, but I bet he's going to be a focus of some conversation, especially from Democratic governors who have a lot to say about the president.
President Donald Trump tweeted, "Long live the king." I'm here to say New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. And we sure as hell are not going to start now.
Let me give credit to the Trump administration. We have seen FEMA operating just like they did in the previous storms and tornadoes we faced. We are getting full cooperation right now, and our declaration got turned around by the president in near record time.
Two Democratic governors there, Kathy Hochul from New York, Andy Beshear of Kentucky. Ofirah Yheskel joins me now. She is the Director of External Affairs for the Democratic Governors Association. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Major.
What is the state of Democratic governors and their orientation to the early and aggressive actions from the Trump administration?
Well, I'd say many of them come to Washington for the National Governors Association meeting on the heels of having just laid out proposals to make life more affordable for the people in their states. And I think they come to a Washington controlled by Republicans who seem focused on doing the exact opposite. Trump said on day one that he was going to be focused on cutting costs. And I think Democratic governors are really the folks actually trying to deliver on those results and deliver those promises for the folks in their states. And so I think what they're looking for is some place that they can find agreement on, some place that they can find some agreement where they can deliver results for folks back home. And I think they're hoping that in meeting with President Trump, folks can find those areas to land on.
Republican senators and even some Republican members of the House are beginning to say they're getting calls back home about federal workers laid off or fears of being laid off. Are Democratic governors getting that same pushback, and are they bringing their concerns here?
Absolutely. There are total concerns about what these layoffs mean for folks in their states. I think you just heard from Governor Beshear talking about what FEMA looks like. Obviously want that sort of
praising FEMA's efforts.
Praising FEMA, and obviously want that sort of disaster response to maintain at the same level. We have a governor's race this year in Virginia. Folks there are, I think, even more disproportionately impacted by the prospect of federal layoffs, could have a direct impact on Virginia's economy. That's personal, and I think voters have told us in the last election that that's what they want governors and particularly folks in federal office to focus on, is bringing down those costs, making sure the economy is working for them. And it seems like it's in direct contrast to what the voters asked for.
Speaking for the Democratic Governors Association, you have to deal with Republican criticism, and I'm looking at something that they put out, our Republican National Committee, in September 2024, saying that of the top 15 states with the lowest unemployment rates, 11 are led by Republican governors. Of the 10 states with the highest unemployment rates, 7 are led by Democratic governors. You know this is a long-running Republican allegation that Republican governors create more jobs, better economic climate, better business growth for their states than Democratic governors.
I simply don't think that's true, Major. I think Democratic governors are laser focused on bringing in jobs to their states. Governor Beshear, who you just highlighted, has brought in record job growth to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, is a Democratic governor in a typically held Republican state. And I think all of our governors are laying out economic proposals like tax cuts, which you typically hear from Republicans. They're focused on making housing more affordable. They're the ones who are talking about how they're going to make progress for folks in their daily lives. And what we're hearing from Republicans is the exact opposite. They're talking about cutting critical programs that would impact people's health care, their ability to put food on the table. And I think the other contrast here is that Democratic governors are really protecting people's freedoms. That's something that we heard loud and clear from voters that they wanted to see. And that's been a winning combination, as we've seen on the statewide level, in electing Democratic governors. We've got a great number of them who I think are really the path forward for our party and really able to deliver results for people in their states and are working hard to do it. And I think the contrast here in Washington is on pretty clear display here for NGA.
Ofirah Yheskel with the Democratic Governors Association. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much.